Alrighty, Speed Gaming fans, we are back for game two of Zeb versus Cutie. First game taken by Cutie by a little under 2 minutes. This is game two. If Zeb wants to keep his tournament life alive, he needs to win this game as well as the next one. Cutie has one more game to win out of the two to advance to what would be the grand finals. Once again, I will be DJ Webb on commentary and joined by Eddie. How you doing?
Pretty good. I already said, playing little favorites here. Both of these players are good friends of mine, but in the interest of seeing a game three, I'm going to have to be rooting for Zeb on this one. Got to see that game three between these two great players.
Yeah, I think probably most people would agree this has been a very exciting and very fun tournament so far. If things kind of end, anticlimactically, it's a little bit, not fun for that. But you know, the runners are doing their best, and if the chips fall where they may, if QD 2-0s, C2-0s, if Zeb makes the comeback, he makes the comeback. We just get to watch, be entertained, and maybe provide some commentary that is helpful to someone, or maybe we'll make fun of everyone the whole time. That's also a possibility.
All right. What will the seed provide us at the start this time? Last time we got one of those linear situations. Oh, Cutie messing up that moonfall at the start. So, nice little head start for Zeb there. Oh, falling in that pit. But yeah, so what are we going to see this time, DJ? You think we're going to get some power bombs for that meme route, Chuck?
I actually do. I think it might have been Cutie who said this. I don't know if it was in the Discord or if it was in chat that the way that this tournament has run with the speed run progression settings is we find a reserve tank first. That's an interesting start. But basically, it just it places the items and it makes sure the seed is completable within the logic. And if the answer is yes, it generates it. That probably makes it more likely that power bombs are available in criteria, just because there's power bombs are needed to beat the seed.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we've mostly seen seeds with power bombs early throughout this tournament, which would seem to confirm that theory. But who knows? Sometimes when things are not happening early, I like to randomly pontificate about things that don't matter. So we've all bore witness to this instance.
Do have the power bombs, and we'll have to say reserve. That's in terms of tier lists of what we get first. I would say reserve is easily in the F tier of starting major item.
Yes, indeed. And we can already see Cutie, did the D-boost and then farmed that enemy, has done some farming. His, not energy tank. The beginning energy is full, and he's also got some reserves. Zeb is just like, I'm going, forward is the way and forward is the answer.
Yep.
So.
All right, so both these players would love to see a super pack here, and that's what they got. The trifecta. We got every minor item here at the start. And yeah, supers can get not having supers can start getting really awkward depending on what you find through the store. So
yeah, I was on record in a match where something like that happened. Where we came here, we had like 2 missiles and a power bomb, and we didn't have a super, and we found Red Brinstar, and I was like, I don't know if QD did the manip or not, but he did get a power bomb drop. Let me interrupt myself.
Did he? He only has one.
Well, he didn't get the power bomb drop physically, but it appeared.
Oh, he didn't go back for it. All right, I see.
Yeah.
If he didn't have supers, I think he probably would go and grab that. But in this case, it's not that big of a deal because they're probably going to the ship anyway. But yeah, that was. I wonder, did he hesitate at all? I didn't even notice.
To finish my story, if you end up in Red Tower without supers, that's definitely the most awkward one, just because, Spazer is a super door. X-Ray is the other major there, and that early you probably don't want to do it. And then there's also, super door for the other miners, so it's like, But, in that race, you did want to stay in Red Tower. You just didn't need to do any of that stuff. But yeah, we have all of our miners. We're climbing the blue tower, as someone's called it this tournament, and this time it was Cutie who messed up, and Zeb takes the little early lead and then immediately gives it back.
Well, Parlor is not the easiest for me either, so all right, well, slight lead for Zeb. Well, now they're even, but
Yeah, it's been back and forth, back and forth. You know, someone misses a
Mhm.
wall jump, someone gets tripped up on an enemy, someone ledge grabs twice a little bit better, and here we are picking up an energy tank at BT, and this is the like coming together point. So QD has definitely done more reserve filling than Zeb. And I was gonna say it's not gonna matter because they're both about the ship refill, but it does matter because the ship refill is gonna be longer for Zeb probably, unless
That's
the
true.
firepower bombs makes it even. I'm not 100% sure,
That's true.
but yeah.
It's not going to be that
From this
much longer,
point,
but yeah.
yeah, from this point, the reserves will be on parity. Both runners will be full. Yeah, I think the ammo might have made it a wash. All that work and for what?
Honestly, I wonder if QD had some arcade brain there. Got to fill up that reserve to get that free one shot. Not get killed in one hit. Probably not, but I definitely look at the reserve and feel like it needs to be filled a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow. Here's an item we did not see last seed. The much much wanted by certain runners X-ray scope. It's
Yep.
it's one of the items in the game.
Some members starting with B might be their go mode item.
Yes, indeed. So we're getting some more portal checks. We found the red elevator. I think they
Mhm.
probably want to go that way, but there's
Yep.
a small chance this one leads them away.
Yep. Well,
The best outcome. The best outcome. That was amazing. Sometimes seeds are silly like that.
All right. Well, good thing they didn't go down that elevator.
Yes, indeed.
Cutie going for the miners here. What's that
Yeah.
little extra firepower, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Power
the way
bombs
that
and a super.
Yeah, the way that these miners got named, kind of the kip miners, was actually it was back in the vanilla map days where if you're in an ammo hunt at the end of the game, probably these are on your way to the finish. So you would see Kip, the person named after be grabbing them mostly, at that time. But in area rando, when you can come up here at any time, and you might not be coming back up here again, it's a little bit different, and it's two miners in the same room. That's obviously a plus for grabbing them, and especially here early, it's can be very useful because one of the things about area rando that's very different potentially from the vanilla map is that green Bryn doesn't have to be early; it can be very late, and that's one of those very dense miner plays. So more miners early, the better potentially.
Now, one interesting thing right now, Cutie opted not to do the extra D boost, whereas Zeb did. So that's it. Oh, well, Fury right off the bat. That's nice.
Early Varia seed. That is a nice find. That is also gonna, if QD wanted to, do things that aren't in this general area of any transitions, that Varia seed is the one that reduces the damage from the spikes. We saw Zeb do what was at the start of one take, X-ray D boost strat, which we kind of talked about last seed, how low energy. That's kind of a thing that happens sometimes. Wow, there's a portal for you at the tube front of LN. But yeah, got an E-tank, so it wasn't one tank on the way back. So that's the one place where the way back can be pretty slow, because if you don't get that E-tank, you have precious little energy to get back, and you kind of have to wait for a waiver. But that's not the world we live in.
Yep. I believe Zeb has infamously said that he really dislikes seeds that involve an early Varia. So in that sense, it's kind of looking a little bit better for Cutie. But yeah, the little E-tank that you get from Zeb, normally that's good, but given that you got that Varia right off the bat, it sort of nullifies that little the benefit that you get out of that E-tank, because primarily it's going to help you when you have to do some hell runs. But Yeah, so definitely slight advantage Cutie here, but you know, there's always a possibility that he'll have to backtrack potentially and maybe check that major depending on how the seed runs out. But would say this is a slight advantage for Cutie at the moment.
This is obviously way too early to actually say this definitively, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't know that we're ever running back through Red Tower at all, and if we do, it's literally just front of LN.
Mm.
As Zeb once again not doing tube first, it seems like. Otherwise, he's going back to LN, and I really don't see that. Yeah, there's a blue. No, that's blue because it's in Meridian. But I don't know. Yeah, he just hadn't done tube yet. So once again, this is gonna be slower than what Cutie did. Yeah, I very much did not expect a high jumpless lava dive, especially because we can't do Ridley or Dragon right now.
That would be an interesting play.
Attack, and you're doing hypo, and you know the other 8 things that make that a bad idea to do right now. So yeah, we're gonna go to Upper North Fair, and you know, probably for area, one of the rare times that you're actually gonna see, you know, we're gonna be going through the Cathedral, not Hell Run.
All right, so what do we got at this high jump boots location? E-tanks. Just a bunch of E-tanks for both players here.
Yes. Give the various suit followed by E-tanks. That's what. I mean, you need a minimum health requirement to beat the game. This is one of the only Metroid games actually that has that hard required. You know, most of them it's just you want energy because you're gonna take hits, but you know. If you watch most, you know, other Metroid game low percent speedruns, they don't get anything except for, you know, the major requirements that like somehow don't add percent. Who knows why Nintendo does things the way they do, but you need 301 energy to beat this game, no matter what.
Mm-hmm. All right, so both these players heading over to that Bubble Mountain. 3 majors there, all easily gotten at this point, given that they have that various suit. So far pretty straightforward. We'll see what the seed sort of has in store for us with the goodies in Bubble Mountain. After that, we'll be checking those portals, and yeah, we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah, this is one of those seeds where, you know, because we have Vario, we don't really care about checking the transitions from one side to the other in Warfare, because, you know, there's no heat damage cost towards them, and we also, you know, we've already seen single chamber, so only 2 outstanding here. We did see last race that, you know, the order that things were checked did make, you know, some difference. A little bit less likely in this race, but, you know, if our runners make different decisions and somehow, you know, they go through the first one they check, we could see some interesting things happening, because we found Turian, that's one of the bigger dead ends, but there's still stuff we're looking for, and like, you know, we're very early in our match reversal. We've seen half of the doors, but probably not. Probably less than half.
All right, so Cutie coming up on our next major right here, Speed Booster. And we have Speed Booster.
Just like you said, we were going to Speed Booster.
Didn't have to say anything beyond that, but there we go. We'll trigger that acid to rise.
I think that Cutie notably, you know, doesn't necessarily like this movement, but he also definitely said in an interview, I believe, that, you know, he likes seeing speed early because then he can already start going faster than his opponents. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if he's changed course, if he was just being a little bit cheeky, or, you know, maybe all the randomizer he's done these past few months has given him some comfortability with speed only movement. So, you know,
I do think when he said that, it's specifically speed plus high jump. I don't know if I mean, at this point, maybe he's gotten a lot more confident with just the speed movement, but he really likes having both specifically, obviously, because one without the other, specifically speed without the high jump is pretty darn miserable.
Zeb
misaligned
is
jump heights and whatnot.
Zeb's doing this in an order that I actually think makes a lot of sense considering we already know exactly this portal. You're kind of doing it counterclockwise. I don't really think not having speed for exactly wave makes that big of a difference because you're just, there's not a ton of long runways where you're building up that speed, but probably marginally slower overall. And getting space jump maybe even negates that because you're going to have that from Warfare Reserve when QD didn't.
Mm-hmm. QD did get a nice D boost across, but the other problem is if you do miss that D boost, which is it's not the hardest thing, but if you get kind of stuck where the CAC is, you and you do miss the D boost, it can be pretty bad. So no worries there, no stress at all. He'll just make it across without any issue as well.
Zeb also a noted just go for that crazy wall jump and get it very quickly. Kind of ridiculous sometimes if you ask me. But yeah, and the Bubble Mountain out with 2 movement items, the speed booster and the space jump. That is very nice for our runners. They're going to be blazing their trail through this one at the speed of blue.
Mm-hmm. The other thing I was going to say.
Check these in. Looks like QD wants Chronic first, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the other thing that to keep in mind as well, it's not something that you always have to think about, but the other thing to keep in mind, that QD has to keep in mind, is the space jump does put that X-ray item into logic. So if you ever get kind of stuck looking for something, that's going to be on the back of QD's mind for sure.
This was one of the more interesting things they could have found at this juncture. I think I'm less on board with the, always do first item than some people are. But I definitely expect. I think I expect them both to leave after the first item, but I don't really know. Yeah, we're killing our friend Croc. Or,
yeah.
Is he a friend if we're killing him?
That's a good question. We'll have to bring that up with the SM ethics community.
Yeah, the Galactic Federation, they've got some court proceedings in their future.
Yep. The second item at Croc takes a really, really long time. Yeah, so QD going out leaving that. The main thing, but the main reason why a lot of this has been thought about is we actually had a practice race a few months ago. And basically, I ended up beating everyone because I skipped that second item, and then we timed it out, and it's just a lot of time to go down there and get the item, waiting for the whole Croc animation. When you have so much outstanding, you haven't even found Green Bryn. It's really hard to justify going for that second item down there. It's just so long. Now, if something's there, that's obviously really, really bad, but you got to play the odds. So we'll see if Zeb decides to go down there and complete it, or is going to go check. But I suspect Zeb might end up skipping it as well.
Yeah, we found Meridian map here at the Croc door, so we're actually weirdly like, what do you do here? Like, your answers are like Lower Norfair, which has gotten better since the last time you were looking at it, but it's also behind Tube, or you have to like go all the way back up to Criteria to go to the right side. So this is an interesting inflection point to see, because I said it was way too bold to be saying it at the time, but I was going to do it anyway, that we weren't running back by anything in Red Tower ever again, and like somehow the seed gave them the opportunity to do so.
Mm-hmm.
It hurt me.
QD, yeah. I mean, QD is heavily incentivized to just go this way because now he's going to go check the X-ray item. I have to imagine at this point they probably just run across Criteria. I mean, it's just you just really have to find that Green Bryn, right? So portals are just going to the nearest portals are so valuable here. Zeb is going to check the second item here.
Yeah, this is something. It does, as you are seeing on Zeb's side, have the added benefit of There are 3 miners in this area. Having space jump makes all of them very easily accessible. Speed also did that as well. And yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Like we were like, I was so confident that like there was never going to be a reason to come back by this. The kitty was just going to save the time and skip this. He's still going to save a marginal amount of time because he's doing this with speed and space. But this is just an E-tank that Cutie does not need, as he does the D-boost entry and then is a little bit hung up. I would, yeah, D-boost and get some speed. It's a wave beam, so that is not the game breaker that Zeb was hoping for, or maybe even kind of needed from this juncture. But he is picking up an additional missile, a distance super. He was down those alpha power bomb miners, so on that end the supers are caught up, and on the other end, you could even get another one. As somehow it looks like Cutie has 20 based on what I'm looking at, so he caught up in +1, so I don't exactly know where that difference was. But
are you talking about super count?
Yeah,
he's got 22 actually, or he's got 30. Sorry.
Oh yeah, because of the croc escape. That's what But that should make them even? Question mark. I don't know. We're not gonna spend too much time on it, as I would not be surprised if Zeb goes lower Norfair here. That's what I'm gonna say. And mostly that's because of this farm, but it's also it's also the case that you want to be full on ammo for whenever you come into a boss area, which you don't know when that's gonna happen at this point. So it doesn't have to be signaling that, but it very much could be.
I don't know if he's going to commit to a reverse acid dive at this point. Or sorry, not reverse acid dive. Lava dive. Yeah, I reverse acid dive in my head. I think that's just a little bit too much, especially given that we can't really be completing a Dragon here, and we're kind of getting to this point where we just need to find that green Brinstar, I think. So I have to imagine he's going to be trailing Cutie at this point, heading over to the right side of Criteria. But we'll see. We'll see how he approaches this. At this point, a lot of that time loss is from going for that, essentially getting that wave beam from the bottom of Croc.
Yeah. And like, the only thing that like gives you like any of that time back is like a pretty early charge where you don't hunt for a bunch of ammo. But like,
exactly.
Even then, it's like if you're both getting early charge, like Kitty's obviously more incentivized to do more ammo without any other beam at the current juncture of the race, but that doesn't have to continue to be the case.
Yeah, I mean, given that we haven't even found Green Bryn, like they're going to be completely fine on that ammo, probably. Okay.
Once more Meridia.
And this is just got to be Green Bryn, right? It's got to be Green Bryn.
I mean, it could be Kraid.
It doesn't have to be, but yeah, it's got to. Come on, it's got to be.
The odds are pretty good, especially because like, from where we are, like logically, we don't have any like there are like no items that are like accessible in the logic right now, so we have to that aren't gauntlet. So we had to find more. Was the point I wanted to make. And obviously high jump can be at gauntlet, which suits can't, so that was an option to put the front of lower Norfair being something they could actually do in the logic. But yeah, you were right. It had to be Green Bryn. Literally had to be.
All right, so lots of cleanup going on here. Grapple beam.
Ooh. Here's our last boss. Yes.
Yep.
As the captain of Team Vileplume says hello once again. 2 out of 2 seeds.
You said it before I did.
They're friends, Do they have teeth and bite you? Yes, but they're friends.
Yeah. Just like dogs, right?
Exactly. They're prone to, give a pinky a little love bite.
It's not a bite, it's just a little nip.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Green Bryn definitely exactly where you want it to be. There's a distinct possibility you just find your go mode here and you're just like hunting for the boss areas. Which, you know, 2 of which we've already found. No Kraid, no East Meridia thus far, but we do already also know where Turian is. So, you know, if gravity shows up, this is you're in it for a pretty quick seed where all you need is ammo. And like you said, because of how high we were coming in here, we're gonna be looking pretty spiffy more than likely from an ammo point of view. Looks like
Yeah.
50-35 on Cutie's end, so you know he's creeping towards that number.
There's a spring ball. I mean, we find high jump and kind of good to go.
Yeah, we're also, you know, this seed, it looks like East Meridia is going to be a lot more accessible than it was last seed, but you know, there is the distinct possibility that, you know, it's Red Fist to East Meridia to Kraid and it's just as inaccessible. But
Mhm.
you know, we already have the grapple beam, so you know, if we found those high jump boots, we'd be.
If I'm Zeb right now, I don't know if I'd be feeling too good about kind of the sequence of events, given that I've done the croc. I mean, obviously, there's a decent chance that Cutie, you know, does almost exactly the same thing that he does. Like, he might be feeling that way, but yeah, the croc essentially is just a straight time loss. So it's kind of it's a little spicy. And the ammo so far has looked pretty good. I think there is a super here as well as a missile pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another
There's
super
another
pack. So
super.
yeah, it's the wave. The value of that wave is, you know, quickly kind of disappearing before our eyes a little bit.
Yes, indeed. Ooh, are we gonna get? Oh yeah, some more pseudo hundo strats. Obviously, you do not come through here with space jump, but he kind of didn't use it.
Mm-hmm.
Cutie going into his wave gate, so nicely done. He's
I
not gonna
can't
lose
believe.
time to not having wave beam
Yeah,
though.
Cutie down one super, a gigantic loss for Cutie. Zeb's not gonna have to use that super.
Gonna make all the difference in our
Mhm.
Varia-filled Ridley fights. I mean,
Mhm.
if you're going, I mean, and yeah, Dragon's grapple kill. This is this is not gonna be one of those where things are getting dicey down there. So it's like, you know, we've still got one more miner at the tube, but I think 60 missiles, 40 supers, which is the inverse of what you kind of want here. But you know, still good. You're down to 3 super packs for in ammo go mode, and there are a lot of miner items on your path forward. So you're feeling pretty good. The relative speed of those changes depending on whether or not you get grav, especially. But
Cutie with that spark into the air. Now we got this final major check right here for Cutie. What's it gonna be? There we go. High jump.
I mean, yeah, debatably go mode. It kind of depends on the tenor of the rest of the seed, but like, I think no matter what the map layout is, you can do it. It's just how fast is it?
Yeah.
Because obviously, like the most annoying things are like, you know, the West Meridia climb as well as potentially a suitless Crystal Flash Cup. We do not yet have the
Exactly.
Ice Beam, but like, yeah, this is a good look right now for our runners. What's not a good look is a little bit of stubbornness. Cutie did not want to have on
Oh
those
yeah, that's
paths.
definitely stubbornness. Doing the nice little clip right there.
Oh, but Meridia no longer a. Ooh. You're never getting back to Mama Turtle, but you didn't want to isolate this portal. So that's actually kind of a. It's a scenario you don't feel that great about, right? Like, unless this is creating, you get the chance to come back by here for free.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe weighs on your mind. It's a potential gravity place, and what that does to you. Not like, you know, oh my goodness, did my opponent get that at that juncture? It's more of like, you know, I'm checking a bunch. You know, I'm touching more majors on my path that, you know, maybe I don't necessarily need to. You know, the calculus changes, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
All right, wreck ship. We do know the back at this point as well, so yep, just straight up get in here, clear that boss.
Yeah, I think this is also a case that allows you to run back by there for free, especially because okay, the rest of this mouth. Oh my goodness, is this right? The rest of the map is Tube Ridley Mouth. Through LN, the back of LN goes to East Meridia, and the other end of East Meridia is Kraid. What the heck?
Oops, sorry, my connection glitched out for a second, but we are saying this map. What is
It's
the
LN,
top
East
of
Meridia, Kraid. That's the rest of the map.
wait? What's the top of red? Sorry, at the bottom of Red Brinstar. What's that one isolated portal?
Bottom of Red Brinstar. The above Kraid is into Upper Norfair on the left side of Business Center. So like if that it's like the upper lower right transition, if that one goes to where the bottom one does, basically in vanilla game. And then the one that usually goes to Norfair goes to Main Street.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, those high jump boots were very essential from this perspective because we're right here killing a Dragon that's not in logic. So this obviously isn't the keys to the rest of the seed. And like this point, like gravity borderline has to be in lower Norfair, and if it's not, it's because the boss in lower Norfair leads to gravity.
So you
Well,
got
I guess
a
if you
pretty spicy one way here.
yeah, I guess if you get back of L in the front of East Meridia, there's still the chance that Botswan can have gravity. And obviously, like I said, Mama Turtle. But I say obviously like I didn't forget it when I was talking about gravity being an LN. But yeah, this is an interesting one because yeah, if you don't find gravity on your very, very linear path to through the rest of this one, you are doing quite a bit of East Meridia. So this is something here, that is for certain. I think that I'm interested to see what our runners are gonna do. Because, from my perspective, like screw attack is extremely valuable in this seed, but I kind of think at least one of them is skipping it, and that's terrifying to me right now.
I mean, Cutie they do have plasma, so if they have to, they can iframe a bunch of stuff that would normally hurt them for screw. But okay,
So I'm
Cutie
talking about the
is...
item location screw attack, not the item itself.
Oh, I see. Hmm.
Ooh, another super. Cutie, like I said, somehow Cutie's up a super in a way that I don't understand. But yeah, the super was nice. Cutie's now really, really close to that ammo go mode.
I don't think Zeb checked the the kit miners.
Yeah, but he got one from Croc, so those should be a wash. That's why I'm confused.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I don't quite remember which one it was.
I mean, I guess it's Croc, but I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't remember exactly that part of the scene, but I just don't know why Zeb wouldn't have gotten those. Because the way Cutie went out is the one that made the most sense to me. So I don't know. But yeah, we are getting the guilt-free drop down here to get to Mama Turtle. That was one of those things that wreck ship portal afforded us. So at this point, like I said, you just have to get to Red Tower, and I'm assuming, yeah, Main Street goes to create entry. So this is exactly where you want it. Like this is where you want it to go, and it leads you to exactly where you want it to go directly. No in betweensies. As yeah, another super up. Zeb does not value ocean without gravity the same way the Cutie did.
All right, moment of truth. It's a reserve.
Okay, so
But a
like I
super
said,
pack.
this
So it's
this
nice.
gravity suit, it's either in lore nor fair. That's an option. That's option A. Option B is that Ice Beam is available either Gauntlet or in front of us in lore nor fair, and we get the front of East Meridia at the back of Lore nor fair, and then then Botswan's an option. And option 3 is the non-Ridley boss in Lore nor fair is what holds it. So but Kraid E-Tank isn't part of that because Kraid E-Tank is in East Meridia, so it would literally have to be Fantoon, direct ship. So yeah, I think we're just gonna run into gravity here pretty soon in Lore nor fair. That's my bet.
That sounds pretty reasonable to me. Zeb, not bother to check that miner as well.
Which looks like it was another super based on Cutie's ammo.
Yes, it was another super. At this point, Cutie is like very, very good on ammo. Zeb is just like too super shy. And there's like a very good chance he's going to run into them, given that there's actually quite a bit of miners that you'll usually run into in Lore Fair.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously it looks very much like Zeb has gained some ground here recently, but he is going to be checking miners that I'm going to wager Cutie is not. So he's going to give back some of the time he's recently gained.
Mm-hmm.
But he can gain time here in this lava dive room if he executed it a little bit better. Obviously, most people's lava dive setups are very, very setup based, and given that you're coming from an up door, there's just kind of, you're going in here and you're winging it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, does have a bit of a cleaner room.
Cutie going ahead and check this. Having some trouble with this gate. Manages to get through. Obviously, in this situation, ice or grav is going to be quite powerful. So it makes sense that you can go check this. Also, in terms of what's in logic to put gravity there is falling a little bit shorter as well. Whereas Zeb, we'll see if he opts to do the same thing. And he does. And there we go. We got the grav.
We did, and I was thinking silently while you were talking that we said earlier about the pretty much pure time loss of going to get that wave beam.
Mm-hmm.
This could have been a corner he wanted to cut, but he did not, and that's going to be good. But the good news is you're getting your go mode. The bad news is you're behind, and Cutie's stronger than you mechanically, and you also need supers.
That's the problem here. We have.
And it's so linear,
exactly.
It's so linear. You don't have any more decisions to make.
It's linear. You're up against one of the strongest people in this league in terms of vanilla movement. You have a full vanilla movement loadout, and you did croc. And there's a very reasonable chance that Cutie, which in this case he did not fully clear that croc. So, yeah, this is going to be tough. Now, obviously, there's still like routing mistakes and stuff that can be done, but it's it's a little straightforward, I would say, at this point as well.
Yeah, you have to try very hard to make the routing mistakes because, like I said, it's literally you're coming through here, you're going to East Meridia, then you're going to go to Kraid, and then you're going to run all the way back out to Tube, and then literally from Tube, you go right and up into the in the business center, and Turian's next to you in business center. Like everything that you needed to do in the seed was right next to each other.
Exactly.
So like
to top it off, the last thing that Cutie's been grinding was basically Hundo. You don't have screw attack obviously here, but Spazer for Zeb.
Yeah, I feel like you're only really looking for ice here. Like charge is obviously still like kind of good for Zeb because you don't have to look at any more miners, and exactly there is the one item check versus the multiple that you're going to be looking at in the future. But like, yeah, I also don't really know if that helps you before really, where like Cutie can still check that, but after just kind of makes more sense. And if you really, really want to try to, cut corners and do things in a crazy way, you can even do it like all the way on the way back when you're coming back through this area. So I don't know. We do have a vanilla Ridley here. We've seen one non-vanilla boss already, so
Oof, it's a
kind of didn't
fast
matter.
Ridley.
Ridley do be dying fast in these
Mhm.
randos when we have, 15 supers left after the fight.
Cutie not even bothering checking that major at this point. Already even has a Zeb skip, is just good to go. So he's zooming.
Yeah, I would say, when all of the runners are in check, Cutie's one of the people I would point out as, more critical of major checking when, like, literally ice helps you when that's kind of it at this point, and, it's one in however many unchecked majors you have, which is,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, double digits at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So no surprises there that
Yep.
Cutie does not check that, but
Yeah. There's really nothing he needs except ice. I mean, he doesn't even need it. It's just like that's the only thing on circuit really going to be like worth it, I
I'm
guess.
positive, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, his ammo situation is like he could throw away some missiles there. He doesn't even need that much. So
Zeb is also having a pretty good Ridley fight. I don't know how, if you, necessarily want to manip Ridley the same way as you do in a vanilla speed run where you're using a lot of charge shots, but like it didn't look like there was barely any wasted time there. So
yeah.
two good fights.
Just as long as you can pelt Ridley. I mean, given the health that they both have, as long as you can just pelt Ridley with as much supers without much downtime, because sometimes he'll just like flying away and stuff like that. Super Cutie with another 5 supers, so good for Zeb. Probably not super necessary for Cutie at this point, but Zeb's gonna be completely fine after that next ammo check. He'll probably Zeb. I could see Zeb also checking Precious, just because 70-50 is kind of like it's enough, but you have to like be kind of careful with your ammo. So yeah, I'm gonna step away for like one moment.
Alrighty. Ooh, we did get the back to the front. So the fact that we killed Dragon before coming in here was very, very nice because getting a crate will be a lot more convenient for our runners. And yeah, we now got our map fully completed out. I wonder if there was an argument to skipping Batoon here, just going down, going to crate, and then going to the boss, and then kind of doing the loop that way. But Cutie's just going forward, doing what he's doing. I don't necessarily think. I mean, this Batoon fight isn't really, you want to conserve ammo for exactly Ridley, and you just killed Ridley, so the ammo usage isn't too impactful. So I don't think this is, if it's worse, it's not too much worse, and I don't actually know that it's worse. So I'll ask my co-commentator when he gets back in how he feels about that play. But yeah. See a full halfy attempt from Cutie. That charge was a little early, but his wall jumps and down grabs are so clean. I think he still got time. Yeah. That boy fast.
That boy fast.
Yeah. What do you think about not doing Batoon here and going crate first and then doing this kind of the loop that way versus what Cutie did?
Not doing Batoon first. Where did they come from?
So they came in the front. So you could have down sand pits up the tube, or you can skip the sand pits if you do that little door that's added.
I see.
Yeah.
So
What Zeb's doing basically.
So it is faster to go through Batoon with the loadout that they have. So this is interesting. I wonder why Zeb is opting to. I guess the sandpit, the major check is always nice because that's just like a huge time save if it happens to be ice. Zeb is going.
And he did want one more super.
Yeah. So this
definitely makes a little bit more sense here,
yeah.
but I was just curious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a bit faster, and given that we already fought Ridley at this point, so we don't have to worry too much about the supers. I think for Cutie, it makes complete sense to just go through Batoon and just kill Batoon as fast as possible, and just don't even think. Zeb, he had an incentive to go down there for multiple. The minor and the major are both good, so yeah, this makes sense. I think both players doing what, even though it's differing, I think it makes sense for both of them on how they're approaching it.
So we're gonna be kind of synced here in Kraid's layer, but Cutie already killing exactly Kraid. Obviously makes that a little bit deceiving as far as current position versus overall position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you said, the you know, the good movement loadout cutie is just, flying through these rooms. It looks like he's got strats for all of them and he's executing well. These mock balls, the space jumps. Zeb's just kind of, he looks like he's doing the arcade with the clearance.
Gotta get that cleanser. It's worth a lot of points.
Cleanser,
Yep.
one of those words. They share a lot of letters. I'm gonna cut myself some slack.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm predicting a one round from both these players. Hot take, I know. Hot take, I know.
Very, very hot take.
Very hot take. Never mind. No charge. No charge.
If we had charge, that would be quite cool. But here, I don't know that either one of them has ever pulled one off. Honestly, like Zeb, kind of doesn't care about vanilla, so it's like no. And then Kitty Strife is the guy that's like, you've got so much else time to save. You don't need to be putting time into.
All right, I'm predicting another slow mid for Cutie, and I'm predicting a slow mid fast for Zeb.
Alrighty.
Oh.
I think you're slow on the right side is correct.
Oh, here we go.
You're on a roll with these things, man.
I know. Oh my, that's a slow mid for Cutie for sure. No way he gets 25%ed here. That's
he got the slow mid.
Cutie, no! You ruined it for me.
No kill.
I was right though, slow mid for both. I can't believe Cutie ruined it.
Is the fast gonna? You knew. You were right.
No, I'm not right. I'm not right. I can't say I'm right. It's actually Cutie's fault. Actually Cutie's fault.
You did nothing wrong.
I did nothing wrong. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I'm actually upset. I'm gonna, they're gonna want to talk about the game after this, and I'm just gonna be like, Cutie, you know what you did?
You made your clairvoyance through space, time, and every universe in existence moot because couldn't two-round a fan tune.
And all Cutie had to do was execute like he normally does, but shame.
Yeah, as we said, the fake sync here is going to be restored as Zeb heads for Dragon's Lair, which holds Kraden. Cutie heads back through this very silly tunnel of this seed.
Zeb has not yet beat Kraid. Just because of the way this map layout worked, Zeb opted to check a sandpit major and go to the back to take care of that boss, and then is going to be heading straight to the Meridia boss from here, which is Kraid. Now Cutie playing for Cleanser.
Yeah, here's a divergence. Zeb goes right, Cutie's gonna be going left. Let's see, reaches this point. Somehow he's also going right. Is this faster?
Yeah. This makes sense. It's basically what you do in Hundo. You go through here, through the bottom hallway.
Yeah, but the map doesn't work like that in this. there's an extra door that loops you. This does seem relatively fast though, so maybe. I mean, I'm happy to be wrong. It happens plenty. I may or may not claim to know things, but I'm gonna say that this isn't one of those things I claim to actually know. It's just kind of a feel that whatever. But yeah, this seemed fast enough.
All right, Cutie is out of here.
In more ways than one.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, that sure will be coming back anytime here. Yeah, no worries. So yeah, all that stands between him and victory is getting out of here and routing correctly through like 3 total rooms to get to Turian.
Pretty much.
Once you get out of LN, it's like literally tube into that right side red tower room in the business center, and you're there. It's so amazingly perfect. Like,
I want to see something. So 4912 is when QD exits out of the fire flea room. Oh, I'm just the check, you know, the check, the second croc check. It's such a big for a linear seed like this. Like I can't imagine Zeb feels good about it. You know, it's like that's got to be haunting him right now. Like man, that's a long check that ended up effectively not giving me anything that was useful.
yeah, and he looked at that spacer over there that QD also didn't look at.
Yeah.
But that one makes a little bit more sense.
Mm-hmm.
But only a little bit. Okay, QD is being careful here. He does not want to die. Which is good. Shoutouts to not having ice beam. You very often see when people are doing that room that way, if they have ice, they shoot because they want to shoot the door open, and then the enemy freezes and they stop anyway. You might as well bonk the door.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it looks like more than a minute for your time difference.
Yeah, just like a minute and 8 seconds. Oh man, like second item croc check. I think it's more than a minute. So it's just a rough one, you know.
Yeah, he would be down to Misslanda Super, but he's also, he's checked better, quote unquote, miners because we talked about QD. Well, I'm gonna say kit miners don't equate to that, but gravityless Ocean probably does count towards that, where Zeb just kind of did some of these Lower North first stuff that's pretty on the way.
Mm-hmm.
And Precious was also right there, but yeah, you're right with the croc leave. This is left foot on top of right foot for our runners.
Pretty much. Zeb definitely gaining a little bit of time. Like Cutie had some trouble in that Mickey Mouse room, but Zeb just barreling through pretty darn quickly. So it's interesting. I mean, Cutie obviously being one of the strongest vanilla runners, but when you have to consider like randomized loadouts and your health and stuff like that, like Zeb's gonna gain time on you if you don't have a solid plan through every single room. But it's just a little bit. It's just not enough, I think.
Yeah, we'll see. The thing that we love to talk about at the end of every SM race, like are they a baby skip apart? And like Zeb has a better baby skip because he's got wave, right? But Cutie could still baby skip, but who knows? But like it's not that far. I was regarding the situation in that Mickey Mouse room, I wasn't paying attention to current health for either of them, but if you said Zeb just barreled through, it makes sense that probably his current ammo was higher and he was just like, the damage I take doesn't matter, especially because we were coming to Turian and we knew that, so we were getting a full refill, so that was the only damage you were going to take and had to worry about.
Yeah, it's Cutie's clearly an advantage here, but it's like completely not out of the. It's not over. It's definitely not over because there are things that can happen. Baby skip can happen. Cutie misses the baby skip. Cutie has some trouble on Zeb skip, the speed Zeb skip. Like, it's a tall order for someone as strong as Cutie, but we have to see this to the end, basically.
Of strong runners to have trouble on baby skip, Cutie is like negative a million on that list because his short charges are ridiculous. But like you said, it's race nerves. This is an extremely linear and straightforward seed, frankly. So you do not know how much like anything that you did has an impact on the overall scope of this race, right? Like, frankly, you could have skipped Croc completely, and that was a perfectly okay thing to do. It would have felt really bad until you got gravity at Screw, but like you could have done it.
This is step one. This is step one for Zeb's comeback.
Yeah, I said that Wave made it easier for Zeb. Cutie did not get to the point where Wave mattered.
Nope.
So you can't blame that. It was just I don't know.
This is what Stasio has done to us. Nobody remembers how to do the original baby skip anymore. But yeah, that's that's step one of Zeb's comeback. If you're a Zeb fan here, then you need to see Zeb grab this. And Zeb has not, I believe, learned the new clockwise baby skip, so it's kind of hard to imagine that he misses this, but here we go.
The other things working against him are that, you know, QD does have more supers, which are faster DPS. And also, as we can see on our screen, with you know, the time loss, QD does still make it into this area first. And yeah, look, he had like a tile and a half to spare.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fair.
And here we go. Zeb's up next. So this is a situation where it's like, it would be interesting if they actually had charge, just because QD doesn't have the ammo for, or QD doesn't have the health for stand up. But there we go. Zeb gets it as well.
Yeah, 50-50. He has 20 missiles to spare. That's plenty.
Mm-hmm.
Just 6 2/3 supers for those who are doing the math at home. And yeah, so people were calling for what Zeb did. When you don't have ice and those because are bothering you, just jump in the glass. You have plenty of health. You're not doing stand up. So I mean, again, like Zeb probably saved time on the Mother Brain 1 fight specifically there. But yeah, I mean, he's got 7 fewer supers. Obviously, you know, he has plenty of ammo to spare. But like,
yeah,
the supers are just faster. That is an unequivocal fact.
Zeb's ammo, 5 supers like on top, like he's got plenty. QD just has so much that he can literally just start like throwing like supers into like Mother Brain's foot by accident. It wouldn't be a problem.
Yes, literally take them out of your arm cannon and with your left hand just throw them like GT does.
Exactly. Yeah, just toss them.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna be in the cutscene at the same time, right? Like this Mother Brain 2's dead. This has been some time made up by Zeb, but yeah, like you said, he's gonna be thinking about that second item croc late at night when he's staring into the ceiling.
You can't fault
those
the
dark stickers from your childhood.
You can't fault Zeb. It's not really a bad play, but you know, I think it's a good strong skip to make considering how long it takes to get, and you have Greenburn outstanding. But yeah, you know, I think if Zeb skips that, I think he comes out with he ekes out the victory in game 2 here. But as of right now, you know, the old thing right now, QD's pretty much got this in the bag unless Super Nintendo explodes, something like that happens basically. So here we go. We got cutscene for both, entering Mother Brain 3, and then we got the escape.
Someone's telling a very fun story here in chat, some Friday Night Lights. Whoever you have those emails from, I'm kind of jealous, no lie. I need on the fly, or Eddie, tell me a trick that is the equivalent of, you know, catching a touchdown in Super Metroid. What's the trick where when we get a Wii touchdown? We've got a Yahtzee. I need a touchdown.
Touchdown. Oh man, Yahtzee would have been a good one, honestly. Touchdown.
Is it? I think.
How
it's,
about
you know, the 50-yard run is it's full halfie. That's what we're going with.
Oh, what QD did right there. I was gonna say, you know, in Hundo, but it's also an arcade thing. But you know, in the big croc room before grapple, when you jump, open the door, and then you mock ball through. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that strat.
Yeah.
Touchdown is
because the ball goes in the goal, right? It's kind of.
Yeah.
No, it's a strat in Hundo.
No, I'm responding to chat. Touchdown. I see. Lands on Zebis. Yeah, we've got some options. I alluded to this a little bit earlier. The mechanics of this game are beautiful and complicated and amazing, and you can do a lot of wild stuff. Yeah, someone asked how Zeb caught up. A little bit of it was some better Mother Brain 1 stuff. He also got Baby Skip where QD did not.
QD saved the animals.
One of the least likely things to happen your first adventure. You have not seen a dot done. If you save the animals, you're a brave soul. But yeah. Last door transition. Cutie is going to step on the ship and achieve a 2-0 series victory. Even got the echo.
That's a touchdown right there for Cutie.
Okay,
That's
let's
a touchdown.
Final race time, 59 minutes and 2 seconds. And yeah, as you see, Zeb with a. This is a snipe. I have to admit that somehow, not only is this not the closest finish I've seen in recent memory, but it was literally SMZ3 that was closer than this. But that was a snipe. Zeb was in Turian. He was in the escape. But 59-30 for Zeb. 28-second difference. These runners put their heart and soul into this one. And another good race, but Cutie. Winners repeat 2-0.
Yep. GG's to Cutie. Yeah, amazing. To be able to, 2-0 Zeb, basically, both times around. I mean, that is no easy feat. That's really kind of shows Mark was a very strong player here. Did it in pretty convincing fashion. I believe, all the plays that he kind of approached and the way that he approached it, very strong. So there we go. Cutie is going to be going back up with his revenge, potentially, for that match against Sloters. And here we go. Joining us on the commentator booth are both of our runners here. We've got Cutie and we've got Zeb. GG's to both of you.
GG's.
Yep, GG.
Okay, the very first thing we have to ask, Zeb, I want you to tell Cutie what your fan tune pattern was in game 1.
I think it was a fast, then I got another fast, and then another fast, and I think I got another fast after that.
And there was also an invisible fast in there for the record.
Five fast.
My first round was fast left, and I missed the air Doppler, and then I got what is it? I think I got mid slow after that.
Cutie,
and then
I hate
and
you.
then,
Do you know
what?
why?
Why?
Because you both were in Fantune at the exact same time, and I said I'm predicting a slow mid for Cutie, and I'm predicting a slow mid fast for Zeb.
It would have
predicted exactly as it should have been if you 2-rounded it, but you
well,
didn't 2-round it.
my item select button did not register when I clicked it. I probably tapped it too tight, so I just ran right into him instead of using a super.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I'll forgive you for that one. But yeah,
Yeah.
GG's to both of you. Yeah. T-Web, sorry to interrupt, but there you go. You can continue asking those questions.
We had to have some fun at the beginning of this.
Yep.
With some fan tunes. But yeah, this was a good series. Obviously, this last race very close. Just I guess I'll start with Zeb. General thoughts. You probably heard us waffling about Croc at the end when you were maybe listening, but yeah, tell us what you thought.
Yeah, so I think that both of these seeds, I didn't really feel great about either, but I think that both of them I lost because I made a play I shouldn't have. I think both of them were seeds that I could have won. I think in the first seed, after Lauren Orfair, I should have gone back to Craze Closet instead of checking the top of Red Tower. The top of Red Tower wasn't even guaranteed to be Croc at that point. I should have just gone right away to Craze Closet. And then, I did all of Croc and found Speed, and then Speed made me go back to Waterway. And I think that probably would have been enough time, even, with not finding Speed ever, if I had found Gravity instantly at Craze Closet to win. I just felt like I was dead if it was at Craze Closet for some reason, because I thought that I basically thought that Cutie would have gotten it way faster than me, because I felt like my route was weird through that seed.
Yeah.
And I would be doing Kraid before finding Kraid, where Cutie would be doing it after finding Kraid. So I was trying to basically play to that out, but I really shouldn't have. I should have just played the way that I thought I should have. And gone straight to Craig's Closet, because it was pretty close. It's kind of on the way to the top of Red Tower anyway. There's the portals at the bottom of Norfair. They're pretty close to each other that I could have just taken to get there really quick. And then in that second seed, I was planning on skipping the second item of Croc. As I thought about more, I was like, but man, if that Croc portal isn't Green Brinstar, then I'm backtracking so much. I'm losing so much time. And because of that, it kind of made me reevaluate the second item of Croc a little bit. Because it would be possible that it would let me skip that backtrack to some extent. if it were something good, kind of. And like the added value there, and like I was thinking that seemed like a really isolated location, kind of like, which is like, if you're leaving it, you're just leaving it forever. That's fine. I think that's like a totally fine play because it's a long check. And I still think I should have done it. I think it was right to skip the second item croc, and I just was too much of a coward, and I lost because of it. So
Yeah, I mean, based on the finish times, there's obviously my baby skip miss. I think you probably saved a lot of time on my ammo routing. I finished my ammo way too soon, and I don't even necessarily think I overchecked. I mean, like I did alpha power bombs at the beginning. I usually don't like doing it that early, but I don't know. I just kind of wanted to do it in case I ran into a really bad ammo situation, and that was like the power bomb there was nice, but just because that was my 15th, and I ended up with exactly 15, didn't find another one to skip anywhere. But like it just kind of ended up with 28 super seeds, so like my ammo checking was just done really early. And in that one, and it just ended up being super inefficient with all the stuff I did. Like I shouldn't have done. I was like debating whether or not I should do East Ocean, or West Ocean, suitless at coming out, and it was a mistake to do it. Like I got a super, but I think it was just a mistake to do it, because there's just so much on the way, left. But in my mind, I was thinking like, okay, there's a situation here where you have like Fantoon in Lower Norfair with gravity in Wreck Ship, and in that case, like you're just skipping gravity suit. So I didn't want to have to rely on like ammo in Meridia, which is why I ended up doing it. But I think that was a mistake. I think I got in this tournament overall. I think I got seeds that really played to my strengths against Zeb. I think I got some pretty lucky rolls here, because I definitely think he's the stronger player. Just overall, I just think I got some ones that played a little bit better to my strengths, that let me take home a couple W's. With the Craig Closet in game 1, the way that I routed it is right. So I went to Business Center first because I didn't want to have to heal to do they're like Crystal Flash or heal to come through single chamber. And I had the health to go to Business Center instead. And then at that point it's like, okay, cool, now I can like leave out Chronic Portal possibly, or I can kind of get a better idea of the map, and worst case scenario I have to Crystal Flash and do Cathedral, which isn't terrible. And the portals worked out really well in that as soon as I got Varia and finished Bubble Mountain, I could just go straight into LN after doing Dragon at Kraid. So I was able to just go straight into LN there. And because of that, I still have Wreck Ship outstanding, and I have the top of Red Tower outstanding, which is like pretty likely to be Croc. It's not guaranteed, but it's like pretty likely to be Croc. And so with that, I just don't think that in my situation you can justify going back to Craig Closet there. With like how much is available to check left. I'm trying to think. I think I probably should have ran across criteria and done Wreck Ship before checking top of Red Tower, but just going up Red Tower there was just really attractive because I was like kind of trying to commit to doing Wreck Ship right at the end, right before Turian. So I think that was probably a bit of a mistake in game 1, and then in game 2, I think it was kind of just the ammo and then some sloppiness here and there with some of the stuff I was doing, but overall a straightforward seed like that really benefits me. So
yeah, I also did feel really good about how I played in game 2. There were some like execution stuff. My execution today was kind of lacking, I felt like a little bit, but it was just like minor stuff here and there that I should have done. But what I was really upset about was so coming out of Screw Attack, I decided to lay a power bomb to farm up supers, the Rippers, and that left me at 5 power bombs, which I was thinking was enough. And then I get into worst room in the game, and I realize, oh shit, I'm power bomb short now, so I have to go to Fire Fleas to like farm an extra power bomb so that I can go down to Wasteland so I don't soft lock in Wasteland. Which I should have trusted it because there was power bombs of shame. Would have been.
I wonder
Although
if,
I don't think I had a way to get it. So
I wonder if at that point it's just better to go into Meridia. Because you're going to come back through anyway.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Ooh.
I didn't understand.
Yeah.
what you
Dragon
meant
was
by
already
that.
dead, so that's not.
Okay,
Dre's already dead.
No, you're completely right. That
I think you should just go into Meridia there, and then you'll come back and you'll know you have the
Mhm.
power bombs then. Because I don't think the order in this situation, I don't think the
it
order
didn't.
you do the Ridley boss in matters at all.
Yep.
In or out, and then the only thing is like maybe like a weird Ridley location with like your ammo. But since you like know Dragon already, and Dragon's already dead, and it's like, because that's the only other boss that takes a lot of ammo anyway, is Dragon if you don't have like grapple or speed or something. So it wouldn't have mattered. We were talking about how to do the East Meridia in the crate at the end. I think since I didn't need ammo, the way I did it is fine, but I think even still, going down a sand pit and doing the back first and then clearing to the front is probably better because than what I did. And because I just went to the boss and then I went through Cack Alley to the back and then I went through Cack Alley on the way out. Both of which, I'm not yet even sure if Cack Alley's faster on the way back. I think it is if you have Speed Booster. But if you don't, you probably would just go through the toilet instead. But I think going down a sandpit's probably just straight up better. I've not timed it. It's one of those weird situations that doesn't come up super often, and the times it usually does come up, Dragon's not dead yet. So it's kind of you're just coin flipping anyway. But in this situation, Dragon's already dead, so I actually do wonder what's faster. But I think going down the sandpit is faster probably.
Yeah, I felt pretty good about it. I was actually thinking about going down right sandpit instead because it's faster. But I decided to go down left just to like have the chance to spike an item.
Yeah, and in that situation, right versus left isn't even that much different. It's like a couple seconds probably. And I think that's like a good, especially with like wave to check it really quick. Whereas like I was wave, so like even if I decided to do that, like checking the item there is actually pretty slow. So
I also felt really sick doing Blue Bomber on the way back through in East Meridia to break those aqueduct blocks.
Oh yeah.
Back up.
There you go.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I got to do the cool 100% spring ball into Grade Slayer to get to Turian. That was fun. And then I entered the ship with Echoes. So
Nice.
They had the Samus. So that was, that was pretty good. But yeah, no, that was a fun series. I kind of had been really burnt out on Randomizer because I played a bunch, and then work got really busy. School got really busy because I'm taking 2 classes right now on top of work and stuff, and I had a lot more fun than I was expecting to have playing. Granted, you know, it helps. The result helps with that, but I was having fun regardless.
Yeah,
So,
I felt like that too. I felt a little bit burnt out, which is kind of rare for me because like normally I just play out in the off season, but I think I was playing even more than usual before for quite a while for this. I hadn't taken a break for a long time, so I've been kind of taking a bit of a break. Still been running seeds here and there, but mostly just not been touching Super Metroid too much. And every time that like before I'm starting the race, I'm like, I'm not sure. I don't really feel like doing this or whatever. But then like as the race goes, I'm like, oh no, this is pretty fun. Like cool to keep playing.
Yep, exactly. That's kind of the way I felt. I was like, oh gosh, maybe I should just forfeit. Obviously, but
I mean, you still can. I'd be fine with it.
I could. You're right. I could. I'm gonna politely decline. But yeah, no, this was a stacked tournament. I mean, you know, I think I got a bit lucky in my match against Zeb in winners, and then this one here as well. And then I think in winners finals, I kind of just self-destructed really bad. So I'm kind of happy I get to have that redemption, but at the same time, I'm not sure that like the better player won in this series, which is a little sad. But it's how it goes sometimes. It is random after all.
So, Cutie, now that you're heading towards into the grand finals, and you're going to be playing your fellow cat girl, Sloters27. Any thoughts on that upcoming match?
You know, gosh, I didn't have anything prepared. Oh Lord. I'm just a genetic freak, and I'm not
Oh.
normal.
I
So
and
I have
Sloters was just all that, man,
144 and 2/3 chance of winning,
right?
and bracket resetting. And then Sloters knows she can't beat me, so she's not even gonna try.
Powerful words. Do we have Sloters in the chat to respond to this?
I think she's cooking up some real spicy there. There's been a very pregnant pause here between this the first part of the statement. But yeah, in the meantime, we can go to Zeb. Obviously, you've you know, your tournament run has ended, but you did, I would say, you did well. You got, third place, which somehow you're like the one person in top 8 who didn't overperform their seed. But yeah, thoughts on the tournament?
Yeah, like Cutie said earlier, I think this is by far the most stacked tournament I've seen. Not too disappointed to get third. I'm a little bit disappointed. I would like to get I don't think in one of these tournaments that's like high prestige tournaments, I would say, I've finished in the finals yet. So I was hoping to at least get there for this tournament, which, I mean, given the way that the tournaments came out, what the participants in it, that's a bit of a lofty goal, but I think that that's kind of what I was aiming for. Getting third doesn't feel too bad though. Feel like Cutie, I feel like by the end of this tournament, I feel like Cutie was the one runner I would like to see win if I could, I guess. So glad to see Cutie doing well. But yeah, I guess just really glad with how this tournament went. Was really fun. I love these settings. I think the settings are great. Make for a lot of really complex, very varied decisions that I think are very deep. They tend to be 65-35 type decisions, and sometimes those decisions just end the game, but sometimes they just one player gets slightly ahead from making better decisions, and I think that that's pretty cool. And I think the decisions just take a lot of variables to account for that you have to think about. So even if you're playing the way that you're supposed to, you're not necessarily going to win all of the games, but I feel with this, you're going to win more often than in most other settings, and I like that a lot. So yeah, I guess I just want to say that I've had a lot of fun and looking forward to watching the finals.
Yeah, I think if our Discord reactions are to be believed, you are more than likely going to the in-person event as well. Is that right?
Yep, I am.
So yeah, you got a little bit of a reprise before back into the ring.
Very curious to see how those settings turn out. I haven't actually done any of those seeds because I've been in this and then I was kind of burnt out for a little bit. So I'm looking forward to getting into that too.
What are the settings on it? Is it the area countdown?
Yeah, it's the dash area countdown.
I actually, I don't think any settings are perfect. I really like them though. I think they're very fun and they're different enough from this. I think adding the E-tanks to countdown really helps countdown, because I've kind of always been a countdown hater. I've always felt like it's applying a band-aid to a stab wound, in that it looks like it might be doing something, but it's really not helping cut down the variance that much, as much as it looks like.
Yeah.
And I think adding E-tanks into the HUD actually really helps that, because it opens up plays of skipping the various suit, and you're not just going to full clear the game for both suits and every seed kind of a thing. Whereas other, it's very rare to skip a suit in other in countdown generally, because you don't know where the E-tanks are, so you kind of just have to happen into them. So I think those are really fun settings. I played a few of those and I really enjoyed them. So.
Thank you both for your words. Eddie, do you have any more questions for them? I don't.
No, I think glad to see both of you duke it out in this match. It's always fun to watch. You both race. I feel like sometimes watching people play rando is more. Sometimes we race, but sometimes it's more fun to just watch and see like how the players play. And I think both of you put up a really strong showing. And thanks for having this race.
Yeah, it was fun.
Once again, congratulations to Zeb, to Cutie. You've got a task in front of you to dethrone your teammate and achieve your place at the mountaintop. Or we'll see who stands at the end. Probably, I'm assuming you're gonna aim for next weekend for that, but obviously you're not beholden to me.
I mean, next weekend is the hard deadline, but if possible, this weekend works a lot better for me because 2 years in a row during finals weekend of SGL, I'm out of town for a wedding. So.
All right, so we'll see you tomorrow. That's what it sounds like.
This weekend, if possible, or sometime this week is.
I mean, Soder says this weekend it is. It looks like
okay, that works for me. That works for me. Yeah, I'll have to figure out scheduling on that because I am busy this weekend as well a little bit, but this weekend works way better because I won't be out of town.
All right, so all the fans out there, stick around to that. Keep an eye on that schedule. We may be back, sooner than you think, and we will have, the end of this glorious tournament with hopefully a battle of two titans. But yeah, once again, thank you both for the race, for the entertainment. I'm going to give our runners a shout out in chat. If you liked what you've seen in this tournament from these two racers, feel free to give them a follow. And also feel free to follow the commentary team if you so desire. My co-commentator Eddie been doing a lot of arcade, but talented too from Metroid Runner in his own right. Just Defend, a big shout out to him for the tracking of these two races. And that's gonna do it for me. I'm going to let Eddie take us out of here.
All right, thanks everyone for watching this match between Cutie and Zeb. It has been great. Cutie will be heading on into the finals, and it should be scheduled for this week against Loaders. This will be the grand finals of the Super Metroid Randomizer tournament of SGLIVE 2023. So tune in when that happens. It'll be on the schedule. But from all of us here at Speedgaming, thank you for watching, and we will see you next mission.